This is your daily news report as of Wednesday, August 4th. The economy is facing a lot of challenges. We're going to go over the major problems that we're going to get hit with in the very near future. On June 29th, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the CDC eviction protection is unconstitutional. The CDC just extended the eviction protection. Renters that are in danger of getting evicted are celebrating. Landlords are furious. The legal community is dumbfounded, and they're saying that apparently the Constitution no longer matters in America. We're going to go over what's going on with Governor Cuomo in New York. President Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer are all saying that Cuomo needs to resign. Outbreak in China is getting more serious. China will be testing 11 million residents in the city of Wuhan because more cases are being reported. New York City will become the first major city to require for you to go into restaurants, gyms, and other establishments. Jeff Bezos is no longer the richest person in the world. And at the end, I have a very interesting survey about people. This is your Wednesday news, and I hope you're having a very nice day. So we heard the stories about how Americans were able to save so much money during the lockdowns. So it's true. Americans added $4 trillion to their savings. However, according to Oxford Economics, the majority of that money went to the wealthy. Of the excess liquid savings, 80% of that went to the top 20% and 42% went to the top 1%. So when you hear stories of Americans are flush with cash, that is not applicable to everyone. The economist that co-authored the study, Nancy Van Houten, said, while it's not surprising that America's savings like income and wealth are concentrated at the top, the degree of the savings inequality was unexpected. Recent data suggests that savings are even more skewed to the top than we previously thought. So basically, the wealthy came out even further ahead and income disparity increased more. Economists are telling the politicians that they need to act quickly to strengthen the economic recovery because we have a lot of challenges ahead. The first one is the expiration of the CDC eviction protection. So we're going to go over that in further details in our political section, but sooner or later, that's going to need to expire. We have the federal unemployment benefits expiring in 5 weeks. We have the debt ceiling crisis that the politicians are basically ignoring. The Federal Reserve is going to have to slow down the rate of money printing and raise interest rates, which is going to devastate the economy. We have ongoing inflation. And on top of this, we have making a big comeback because of the Delta variants. So we're going to see what Congress does, but currently, they're scheduled to leave for vacation next week. In political news, according to the US Census Bureau, more than 11 million Americans are behind on rent. The CDC eviction protection that kept on getting extended since last year. It got extended until the end of June, and then it got extended to the end of July. On June 29th, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the CDC eviction protection was unconstitutional and illegal. But Justice Kavanaugh said, even though it's unconstitutional, we'll leave it in place until the end of July because it's going to expire soon. This left the legal community in shock because the Supreme Court said it's unconstitutional, but they're going to let it slide. So the CDC eviction protection that expired at the end of July, which was this past weekend, President Biden did not want to extend it with an executive order because the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional. So President Biden said if they want to extend it, Congress needs to do it. Congress could not extend it because the Republican politicians did not want to extend it, and 20 Democrats in the House of Representatives were against an extension as well. So it didn't have enough support to pass in Congress. But many Democrats, they kept pushing for an extension. Congresswoman Maxine Waters said, I don't buy that the CDC can't extend the eviction moratorium. Something it's already done in the past. Who is going to stop them? Who is going to penalize them? Come on, CDC, have a heart. Just do it. So yesterday, the CDC took matters into their own hands and they extended it. The CDC eviction protection, it's going to last until October 3rd, and it's going to cover 80% of US counties and 90% of the US population. A senior administration official said, this new eviction freeze from the CDC, it's going to be different in form and structure from the one that expired. It is directed at areas where the spread is most acute. President Biden openly acknowledged that this decision by the CDC is going to face legal scrutiny and the protection may be challenged. So that's the status of the CDC eviction protection. Now let's talk about Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York. So this guy is a character. So Cuomo said on the Howard Stern show, if I wasn't governor of New York, I would have punched Donald Trump in the face. When Trump was in office, Cuomo said Trump needs to resign. So now the tables have turned. President Biden is now telling Andrew Cuomo that he needs to resign. The state attorney general found that Cuomo violated state and federal law by sexually harassing 11 women. If you want to read up on all the disgusting stories of Cuomo groping women and his sexual advances, then you can do that on your own time. When President Biden was asked whether Cuomo should resign, President Biden said very bluntly, yes. Biden also added, I think he'll end up being prosecuted too. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi said, as always, I commend the women who came forward to speak their truth. I call upon the governor to resign. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said the governor should resign. The entire Democratic leadership team is telling Cuomo to resign. Governor Cuomo is under criminal investigation in the Albany County District. Cuomo is trying to play this off as if the whole thing is going to blow over. He's on Twitter posting statistics about New York as if this is no big deal. In international news, China is getting more serious. China will be testing millions of residents in their city of Wuhan after more cases are being reported. A Wuhan official told Reuters to ensure that everyone in the city is safe. Citywide testing will be quickly launched for all people to fully screen out positive results and asymptomatic infections. And this isn't just in Wuhan. Mass testing and lockdown measures, they're being deployed in 22 cities in China. China is blaming the spike in new cases on the Delta variants. In current events, New York City will become the first major city to require for you to go into restaurants, gyms, and other establishments. Mayor Bill de Blasio made the announcement on Tuesday. People will need to show proof that they received at least one dose. This will go into effect on September 13th. Mayor Bill de Blasio said, it is time for people to see as literally necessary to living a good and full and healthy life. 60% of New Yorkers have received at least one dose. Are saying that this is a HIPAA violation. That is incorrect. This is not a HIPAA violation. HIPAA only applies to HIPAA-covered entities and business associates. Restaurants, department stores, movie theaters, theme parks, and many more businesses are not legally required to comply with HIPAA regulations. However, if you want to say that this is a violation of their freedom, then yes, that's a perfectly valid argument. But the other side is arguing that it's for your own good and to protect others. So please let me know your thoughts on this, especially if you're living in New York City. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is no longer the richest person in the world. The majority of Bezos' wealth is tied up in Amazon stock. When Amazon reported their second quarter results a few days back, it didn't meet expectations, so the stock fell 7%. His net worth fell by almost $14 billion in one day. The richest person in the world is now Bernard Arnault, a Frenchman. His company owns Sephora, Tiffany & Co., and Louis Vuitton. And I wanted to leave you with this interesting survey from Axios. People were asked, who is to blame for the rising cases in America? So here's what people answered. The number 4 reason was foreign travelers in America. The number 3 reason was conservative media. The number 2 reason was Donald Trump. The number 1 reason was, here's what people said about who is to blame for the rising cases. The number 4 reason was Joe Biden. The number 3 reason was Americans traveling internationally. The number 2 reason was mainstream media. The number 1 reason was foreign travelers visiting America. That's the news for today. If you enjoyed today's report, please be sure to subscribe. I thank you for your support, and I wish you a very nice day.